For Leonard Bernstein, it was vital to discuss with Thomas Hampson the original poems of Friedrich Rückert that Mahler set in his Kindertotenlieder, songs on the death of children. The composer took just 5 of the poems from an enormous outpouring of several hundred that Rückert wrote as a reaction to the tragic deaths of 2 of his own children. Although the cycle is often sung by a female artist, Leonard Bernstein and Thomas Hampson both felt that it's appropriate for a male artist to perform them because Rückert had written the poems as the dead children's father speaking.
We did talk about this father a lot. And at that time, it was still very popular that the Kindertotenlieder was sung by a woman. Now, I think it can be sung by a woman or a man, that's not my point. But the Rückert poetry is most definitely from the aspect of the father.
It was the texture and the colour of Mahler's sound world in Kindertotenlieder that Leonard Bernstein was so especially deeply concerned with, both in the interpretation of Thomas Hampson and in the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra's playing. Thomas Hampson was equally deeply concerned with this, and as both he and Bernstein viewed this music the same way, their recording has an exceptional overall unity and matching of tone values and atmosphere in the orchestral and the vocal parts. And specifically in what way? Well, the 2 artists had discussed those elements in depth in the light of their conviction that, although the subject is so devastatingly tragic, Mahler's music is very close to Rückert's sentiment, and that was not morose.
Every poem he wrote, 427 of them, depending on the edition you have, was a cathartic process to get off and out of this catatonic grief of loss and find some reason in it. And this was something that Lenny and I talked about at length. I remember the conversation about this catatonic state of the father, and also this very important line where it says, Die Sonne scheint allgemein. And allgemein means without reservation anywhere, without any impedance, without any recognition. In other words, there's an audacity that the sun would come up on another day that has seen the night of such grief. And there's anger in that line. And I think that's where the storm theme comes. And Lenny liked that idea very much. And it is incredibly important to know that with Mahler and with Bernstein and with me, it was always this wonderful teaching discussion of the inner life of the person whose music Mahler had immortalized.
Now the sun wants to rise as brightly as if nothing terrible had happened during the night. The misfortune happened only to me, but the sun shines equally on everyone. You must not fold the night into yourself. You must bathe it in eternal light. A little lamp has gone out in my tent. I must greet the joyful light of the world. The terrible irony that just 3 years after composing this song cycle, which Mahler's wife Alma was so deeply unhappy about, as she and her husband had two very young children of their own, Mahler should suffer the same fate as Rückert when his second child, Maria Anna, died of scarlet fever. This irony was one of three massive blows of fate that all shattered the composer in the same year.